There'll be girls across the nation that'll eat this up. Babe, I know that it's your soul, but could you bottle it up? Get down to the heart of it, no, it's my heart. Your shit out of your luck. Don't make me tell you again, my love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. I am aiming to be somebody.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Podzilla 1985 After Dark at the Podzilla 1985 Podcasting Network. My name is Shannon Young. I'm going to be your host tonight. With me, of course, on this glorious After Valentine's Day is none other than the Thursday Night Delight himself, Mr. Jesse Kimball.
Oh my god! the soundboard is killing me.
I love it. I love it. It conveys all the emotions that I don't have inside of me anymore.
He's slowly fine-tuning it.
Yep. It's just adding on and adding on. Also with us tonight, when you think about romance, you think about Valentine's Day, of course you think about Lindsay Wolfgong.
Sure. Hi. I am here.
I'm Lenny. This is Carl and Homer. I'm Lenny.
That giggling you hear, the sound of love itself. That's Shelby Kimball.
Hello.
And also our resident professor of love, Double H, Hunter Hendricks. I don't know where.
I didn't know where that was going. I didn't know who that was going to be. I certainly didn't expect it to be me. I was just going to hit you with a Thursday. What a concept.
But that's not all, ladies and gentlemen, because it is the day after Valentine's Day, and we're bringing in all the loves of our life. Also with us tonight, the man himself, Tanner Calvert.
I am here with Pizza Pasta.
Pizza Pasta with him. And that's not it. That's not all. The only person that's there tonight. As a special guest, he volunteered to be on the show. I didn't have to drag him in this time. Stephen Bright.
Those damn alien bastards are real.
Steve, a quick question.
You enjoying your shrimp?
I had calamari today, actually.
It's a type of shrimp.
You asked him about the shrimp.
Yeah, that's right. So a couple of weeks ago, I have to make a correction. Hunter, as you know, on this show, we check and recheck the facts. However, I did make an error. I would like to correct that error right now, if I could, please.
Yeah, what'd you fuck up?
So a couple weeks ago, here live on the show, we had our first taste of Josh, and I mistakenly said it was a wine for Josh when it was actually a Chardonnay. Now, I don't mean to pick hairs and all that, but if we're going to be correct, we need to be correct. That is why tonight I have brought a bottle of wine for Josh, and I'll be drinking this throughout the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. So let's pour our first glass of Josh. Let's get Josh in my mouth right now. Give me a second.
Now, wait a minute. You said that it was a Chardonnay as though it wasn't a wine, and I took that at face value for a second, but Chardonnay is a white wine.
Yeah, but it didn't say wine.
So
this one says...
that's because Chardonnay is a kind of wine.
Look, I just wanted a reason to drink more. God damn.
I thought for sure you were going to say that, like, oh, it was a champagne or something, and I'm like, okay, well, it
was a Chardonnay. It was a Chardonnay. So it's okay. Yeah. It's all right.
Okay. It's fine.
Hey.
Why do you keep going back to... You're like in an abusive relationship with Josh. Why do you keep going back to him? It never turns out well.
It doesn't, but this is even better.
You spend all your money on him, and what does he give you? Nothing.
This one, by the way, is a vintage 2022. I'm sorry, no. Yeah, vintage 2022 wine, Shelby.
I think technically any number can be a vintage. It doesn't necessarily have to be a good one.
I think it has to be over 20 years, doesn't it?
I don't know. I'm making up shit left and right here.
That's what we do. That's what we do on the show here. Special episode tonight. This is our post Valentine's Day episode. We apologize we didn't do extras and epilogues last night. I was under the weather. I'm feeling a little bit better now, which is why I'm drinking. Tonight we're going to be talking
this weekend.
Yes, we'll make up for it. But tonight we're going to talk about our 5 favorite fictional couples. It is the day after Valentine's Day, so our top 5 fictional couples. Here's what you can expect. somehow Tanner will know at least 2 romances from Assassin's Creed that's going in there. Shelby will also bring up a random anime or cartoon or video game that you've never heard of. And then I will be all basic bitch.
I was curious, and it turns out that it's not the noun version of vintage that we got wrong, it's the adjective. So according to the noun, if you use it that way, the year or place in which a wine it was produced, so it can be any of them. But here's the problem. The adjective says if you're calling it like a vintage wine, relating to or denoting wine of high quality. And there's where the problems begin.
So we know immediately which one he's using.
We also know which one Tanner's using. It's the wrong one because he is frozen real bad.
That's vintage. That's vintage, Tanner.
That is a vintage, yeah.
Is it?
This is
your video is. We can hear you, but
this is a rosé, by the way.
Screenshot that I think you're gonna like. There it is.
That's a worse one. That's a worse one. Oh, Tanner's back
I can't
on
even laugh
dial-up.
about that shit because that
hits too close to home.
1 week ago,
Right.
I was experiencing that myself.
Yes, I remember the chat.
You're good now, Tanner.
Okay. So hey, Jesse, we do have a motherfucker of the week this week.
Oh boy,
I gotta talk about it. I said I wasn't gonna talk about it. I gotta talk about it. And the motherfucker of the week this week, you may have heard this story already all over the news. I have to talk about it because it's just that funny. Of course, I am talking about Officer Jesse Hernandez from Okaloosa County. He's a deputy. And I know,
acorn story.
Yeah, Shelby, did you hear the story? Did Jesse? Hey, did you hear about this, Shelby? Did Jesse relay this to you?
No.
So there's a video. It's on my Facebook. Actually, it's not. It's on my Facebook. It's also in the group chat that we have a long ways back at this point. But Officer Jesse Hernandez and his partner were called to a residence because a woman said that her ex-boyfriend or boyfriend, something like that, were making threatening text to her, sending threatening text. So the cops show up. They find him. They end up cuffing him and putting him in the back of the car. As he's walking around the car, in the video, he all of a sudden he starts rolling and he yells, "Shots fired, shots fired, shots fired." He pulls his pistol out and he lights up, empties his clip into the back of his own squad car where the guy is sitting there handcuffed because he thought the guy had pulled a gun out and shot at him. His partner then joins in, shooting the car. Jesse Hernandez then rolls to the ground again and starts yelling, "I'm hit, I'm hit," as all of this is unfolding. When the smoke clears, somehow this young man in the back of the squad car emerges completely unharmed. All of the shots missed him by an act of God. And then when they look at the video and they analyze everything, it turns out what Officer Jesse Hernandez actually heard was the sound of an acorn falling onto the hood of his car, which he thought was a gunshot. He then rolled to the ground and unloaded his entire clip into the back of his own squad car at the man that, by the way, not only was handcuffed, but he himself searched to make sure he was unarmed. And I didn't put this on my Facebook because I didn't want to start any trouble, but I will start trouble on my show. If you are a cop and you frisk somebody and they are unarmed and you put them in the back of your squad car and cuff them, and then you hear something and your first instinct is to pull a pistol out and gun this person down in the back of your car, you probably should not be a cop. You do not have the will to be a cop.
I've never been so glad, though, that someone was so bad at copping, at policing, because he sucks so much at shooting that guy ended up being okay. Now, it sucks that he traumatized the fuck out of him.
Oh, for sure.
And I hope he sues that department into the ground for it, even though the guy's already resigned.
And the girlfriend.
This leads me to believe we are getting closer and closer to idiocracy.
Yes. Well, I said I'm glad they're still making Naked Gun films, because this was straight out of a parody. Yeah. And I'm sure the girlfriend too. So if you watch the extended video from the other cop, from the partner's body cam, you hear the girlfriend that called the police to him originally screaming and crying because she thought they just gunned down her boyfriend, like in the back of his squad car. Yeah. And she would probably blame herself because she's the one that called the cops. That whole neighborhood's traumatized by this dumbass cop. And he did resign. He was not fired. There are no charges being pressed against him because they said they believe that he believed his life was in danger. Which is a real shitty thing, that if you believe your life's in danger, that gives you, the go-ahead to load an entire clip into something. But whatever, it worked out where no one got hurt. Right? He resigned on his own free will. And of course he did. Could you imagine being that cop and going back to your to your precinct or whatever they're called nowadays? Oh my God, you're done. They're going to leave a bushel of acorns on your desk.
Now, you left out a key part of the story, or maybe just haven't gotten to it one way or another.
What you got?
But worth noting that here's the good news: this will never happen again,
right?
Because the police department also confirmed that they are going to make sure to incorporate this into their future officer training, so that these kinds of mistakes don't happen. So I guess probably, I mean, realistically, what, you sit in the car and they just drop acorns and then also shoot at you and go, now which one?
Which one's which?
Which one was the gunshot?
Yeah.
And which one was you gotta, if you can't pass that test, you gotta get at least 8 out of 10 right.
Yeah,
you can't go out.
Well, let's not, 3 out of 10, honestly. Let's not set the bar too high.
If they get any one of them, we'll take it.
50%. 50%. Well, 50% gets you a gold star. You get to carry a bigger gun. If you get below a 50%, they give you the training gun.
Wait, no, you just figured out the answer, because here's what's going to happen. They're going to go, hey, we're going to make sure this never happens again. We're going to give them really big-ass desert eagles, and those don't sound like acorns. So that way, there's no mistaking.
Well, because you got to think like the cop, though.
They were being shot at.
They were being shot at,
right.
yeah.
You're right.
So, I guess there's just no way to stop this.
It says only country where this happens constantly.
The technology's just not there, Jesse.
Well, so on the same line of situation, we recently had something locally happen with a man who shot a cop in wherever.
Was it Mount Vernon? No,
it was in Indiana, I think.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, though, because
anyway,
he fled all the way to Cape.
All the way to Cape. They find him in Cape. They chase him to East Cape across the bridge. He goes off in the field, gets stuck, barricades himself inside of his vehicle. Now, I'm all for the idea of you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Okay, shot a cop, just take your licks, go to jail. Period.
He took many licks.
He decided to shoot at the. I'm getting there. He decided to shoot at the marshals. All right, you fucked up. Now you got to pay that price. Except he paid the price in the tune of about 2,000 bullets, riddling his car. The U.S. Marshals were all firing fully automatic 30-round clip firearms, and they all unloaded about 3 clips apiece.
Now imagine if that was an acorn, though, that had fallen on that cop.
Right. Well, it was like 2,000 acorns. What am I talking about? I'm sorry.
My favorite part of that story was that because of Tanner's internet trouble, it sounded like T-Pain was telling it to me.
The internet is shot in Illinois right now.
Well, probably
cell phone and house internet.
Probably because of those acorns. I don't know. All right, well, that's going to do it for the small talk part of the show, because I don't know if you guys remembered, but there is 7 of us on the show tonight, and we all got top 5 for our favorite fictional romances. So we're just going to start it now, so we're not here till 10:30 at night, because democracy needs to be spread, justice needs to be spread around cursed Gotham and beyond, and also I need to eat some food. So let's start the Valentine's Day festivities with me, because I don't want anyone to take the first one, because
there's no way anyone was going to take the only one that I know for a fact you're going to pick.
Well, I'm curious which one you think it is. You want to give it a guess real quick? I'll tell you if it's right.
The only one I know for a fact that you're going to pick is and I can't think of the male character's name, but Lucy and her love interest from While You Were Sleeping.
No, you know what? I picked more fantastical on this one.
Okay.
Because
that shoots that in the foot then.
Yeah, well, also the fact that I don't want anyone to be in love with Sandra Bullock's character from While You Were Sleeping, because I want to be in love with Sandra Bullock's character from While You Were Sleeping, and I won't accept anyone else's romance. No, I'm going to start off with Fox Mulder and Dana Scully. I don't want to take that one from me, just in case.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be honest, I got a list of 10, 15 things here. Didn't even think of that.
I got 3 right now, and I'm hoping to finish it out here pretty soon.
I had 3 on my list that I thought you might take, so I took them off.
Was that one of them?
Yeah.
Oh. Look, when I was younger, there was nobody cooler to me than Fox Mulder, and there was nobody prettier than Dana Scully. So I'm sticking with it. That's a good couple, and to see their relationship blossom over all the seasons, and then into the movies and stuff, it was a good romance. It's a good
Classic
romance.
will they, won't they?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
As opposed to D and Mac, where it's not will they or won't they, it's I don't want them to.
You get back in your light. We don't want to.
So that's my first pick. We're going to switch it over to Stephen Bright now because he's our guest on the show and he volunteered to be on here. So I'm curious about who Stephen Bright picks. So Stephen, what's your first pick?
So I don't know if this is a cheat, but it's based on the only... Who left? Oh,
It was Tanner.
Tanner.
I think he's resetting his stuff.
Okay. The only correct ending to Elden Ring with Ronnie the Witch and your player character.
That's the one I did. Yes, sir.
It's just...
I wouldn't know.
It's one of the best quest lines in the
Right
game. Ronnie is just really cool to begin with, and
Doesn't she have 4 arms?
yes,
You know what that means.
Just 4 hands.
That's 4 hands.
4 hands. It's crazy.
Jesse's got the doll right there.
Steve, look.
Aw.
I love that one.
That's the Carbot, Ronnie.
Yeah, it's
Steven.
Carbot.
Steven,
Got a little removable bell.
She's so cute.
Steven, with 4 arms, that could mean she could have 2 arms wrapped around you to make out with you at the same time, holding a plate and asking you,
Hey, enjoying your shrimp?
all right, well, thank you, Steven.
Well, Steven's gone.
That's a good
Yeah,
first
you're not going to get
pick.
him
I'm
back.
going. I'm going over here for a moment.
Let's
You don't
go.
hear him like hi.
He's out.
There he went.
he couldn't do anymore. He couldn't handle it.
Oh, he forgets, though, I have powers.
Steven.
Political powers. I should bring right back in. All right,
Welcome
let's go to Jesse Kimball for his first pick.
Hey, all right. For my first one, I'm gonna do Leslie Knope and Ben Wyatt from Parks and Recreation.
Yeah, that's right.
I specifically left them off my list because I just remember talking to Jesse about Parks and Rec, and now he was rewatching it, and I went, I'm not going to bother with that one.
And I was just gonna say, like, I'm rewatching it right now, so
You went Leslie. You went
on my
Leslie.
mind.
Nope.
and Ben and Leslie are just people talk about, and now I'm not gonna say it because it's probably gonna be Tanner's pick later. There's a very similar show with a couple in it, and Leslie and Ben I've always liked way more.
Isn't Ben played by Adam Scott?
God.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who also plays Ben Parker in the new Madam Web film.
Is it Madam or Madame? You
Always thought
think
it
it'd be
was-
Madame.
It looks like Madame, but I always heard it as Madam. Jesse, you're the big spider
Madam-
geek.
I've always also said and heard Madam Web.
It's Madam.
See, I thought Madam was the but you're like running a brothel. Madame
Whoa.
is the technical term, right? I don't know.
It doesn't matter. This movie's gonna bomb
okay.
horribly.
Jesse, help me out. Madam Web was created for the '90s show, right?
No.
Or was she?
don't
Was she
think
did?
so.
No, you're thinking of Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn was
And
created for the
X-23.
Batman animated series. Yeah.
No. I think
created for X-Men
I think Madam Web was created for the '90s TV series too.
I looked at the only reason I know this, Tanner, is because when the movie was coming out, I started looking it up because I don't know much about Madam Web other than like the Spider-Man cartoon like you. But no, she actually started in the 80s. November 80, she was in her
Right
first.
in.
Yeah. So that's the only reason I know
very
that.
close.
I would not pretend to be an expert on Madam Web. I just looked this up recently. So
The Amazing Spider-Man number 210, published November 1980. Yep.
yeah. All right. And that's all we're going to talk about Madam Web on this show. Let's go to Shelby for her first pick.
My first pick is going to be one of my goofy ones. It's going to be Plankton and Karen from SpongeBob.
I knew it.
Oh, that's fair.
I told you she would. This is goddamn
SpongeBob
weirdo.
is not
That's
obscure.
not even the weird one, Shannon.
Oh.
That's just the fun one.
Everybody's heard of SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I don't.
So I've never watched SpongeBob, but remind me real quick. Karen is not like a living.
Yeah,
thing,
see,
right?
I don't know
Karen's
Karen.
like
She's his personal assistant robot that he built, but she's basically his wife. They even make jokes about being married, and she is the whip in the relationship. She's like, what the fuck? Go run the shop, make the money. That's what we're here for. And he's like, yes, ma'am, sorry. And it's like he doesn't own the shop, she does.
See, this is I told everybody this is what happens.
Oh.
This is what happens when you let the gays marry, when you let the trans use the bathroom.
No!
Now they're marrying robots.
Shannon, please stop talking.
Sorry.
I misunderstood the bit.
We fired Shannon from his own show.
I was aware of another bit that I thought was related to that. So Plankton, I guess, at some point in time in the show, eats holographic meatloaf, and like the subtle joke there is he's a plankton, which means that they not eat, but like they photosynthesis, right?
Yeah.
So of course he's eating light, which is
Mhm.
Yeah.
I thought it had something to do with who he was
How the
with.
fuck do they cook underwater? Let's go on to.
That'd be bad.
They make a joke about that.
Oh, God, I regret
open
this.
flame, and they joke. How does this fire? If we're underwater, how do we have this fire? Then the fire immediately goes out.
That's funny.
Yep.
That's funny. I've come to appreciate SpongeBob a lot more, especially when I found out that Tom Kenny voices SpongeBob. I'm a huge Tom Kenny fan from Mr. Show, so I got a lot of love for SpongeBob.
I know
nowadays.
him from Spyro.
That's true. He was a dragon once.
Yeah.
Speaking of
He was a
dragon, Tanner Calvert.
I don't understand that reference. Okay, Shannon, what did you pick? Because I got kicked out while you were making your talk.
Mulder and Scully.
Your choice. Ugh.
I mean,
Anyway,
What?
I mean,
were they a couple?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Well,
That was a
okay. Well,
huge part.
hold on. No, hold on. To be fair to him, were they a couple in the original show, or did it take to the movies?
No. It took.
No, I think in the original show they got
Yeah, no,
I
because
can't
the
remember.
show, because of how the
It-
show ends, they have to be.
From
No,
the show.
no, because Mulder was gone.
No, he came back at the end.
Did he?
He came back
Maybe
for the
I didn't
last
see it.
episode, but he was on trial.
Okay, hang on.
Oh God.
Okay.
Okay. While he's looking that
Anyway,
up, Tanner,
with
you
my-
go on with yours. I'm gonna keep drinking Josh.
With my first pick, I'm
They
going
first
with
kissed
Ray
in season
and
7,
Solo-
episode
oh,
4. So
Okay.
That was the Patrick
I guess I
era,
missed
right?
the part.
Okay. Figured that out. Go ahead, Tanner. I'll keep drinking Josh.
All right. Well, I was making the joke that I was picking Ray and Ben Solo, but my actual first pick is Kratos and Faye, his wife that died in the newer games. In Ragnarok, you get to see a lot of cutscenes, or a couple cutscenes where they're actually interacting with each other, and it's really great.
So Faye is not his wife from the original series, right?
No, his wife from the original was Lysander.
Okay. Because I always hated that. I'm not criticizing your pick because I like the new God of War games way more than the old ones. But one of the things I always had trouble with the original God of War games was he was so upset because his wife had died and his kids had died. He was so upset about it. But then he also proceeded to bang every girl that he could find. To the point that, Jesse, you remember when we worked at GameStop, we had to shrink wrap the God of War 3 strategy guides and then take them off the shelves because it explained how to bang the girl in it.
Yeah. Had an explicit scene in there.
I mean, it's Greek, right?
No, go on. Please, Steven, explain. Please explain. Go on.
Wasn't that the whole thing with Greeks back in the day?
I think so.
No, keep going.
I need you to know I would listen to an entire fucking hour special of Steven doing stand-up comedy that goes like this.
Yes.
I mean, they're fucking Greek, right? Isn't that their whole thing? Ayo!
He says it slowly and unsure. Every joke, slowly and unsure. All right, Hunter, what do you got up first?
All right, I need you to understand that no part of me thought that I was going to get the chance to make this choice because you kept picking people who weren't me. I do not understand how we've gotten this far into round 1 and nobody has picked the best on-screen pairing of all time, Gomez and Morticia motherfucking Adams. They are the best.
Shelby,
They
you
are
went
the
first.
best.
Shelby, you went first.
They
You
were my
picked
number
Plankton.
one. I always
You
pick
had a
my number
choice.
one last.
You had a choice. You had a chance.
All right.
Oh, this was the
You
only
don't
one I
ever
was ever
start
gonna
up here
pick.
first.
Every time that I look at like what we might do for Halloween, I'm always like, but Gomez and Morticia. Gomez and Morticia is a good choice. You know, we
Shocked
do a
you've
lot
never
of
done
cosplay
that.
shit.
Yeah.
The only reason that I haven't is because Sarah will not let me shave. She's like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I get that. Yeah.
But I mean, that has been our our coworkers often talk about how much they enjoy seeing us like interact in our relationship and everything. And we're always like, we learned everything we know from the Addams Family.
Well, because that's
go watch the movie.
That's the goalpost, right? A lot of people, a lot of dumbasses
Yes.
and meth heads say Joker and Harley Quinn. Sorry if they're on anybody else's list, but like that is not a good relationship. Morticia and Gomez is.
They prop each other up. They take care of each other. They love each other for their flaws. Like they're fucking best, man. They're easily the number one choice for me.
That's a good pick. I like that. Lindsay, what about you? What's first?
I am going to start things off with Persephone and Hades from Lore Olympus because I'm obsessed with that comic.
That is true. I can't confirm. What do you think, Josh? Hold on. Yeah, Josh agrees.
I don't know how.
Are you sure Josh agrees with you?
Let me ask him. Let me ask him
but
again. Hold on.
Later tonight, Josh might not agree with you so much.
I gotta say, Josh dedicated this wine to his father. His father's probably disappointed in him.
It's okay. He's probably dead.
He is. Thanks, Shelby.
Ouch.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Wow. So, Lindsay, one more time. Who'd you say? I'm sorry.
Persephone and Hades from the Lore Olympus comic.
Gotcha. All right. Let's swing it back around to me because now it just reminded me of one that I didn't write down, but I'm glad I did. This was the first ever. So a lot of times, Lindsay, help me out, in anime and stuff, when they put two characters together, what is it called?
I prefer pairing, but it has shifted over to be calling shipping.
Shipping. So
I don't like that either.
Originally, this was just like a rumor thing. If I remember correctly, it was a playful, oh, are they or aren't they? And then it turned out to be a real couple thing. And it was the first time I ever saw two characters in a comic series who weren't gay to begin with became gay, or at least it was hinted at. Now it's official. And they make, I think, one of the cutest couples in comic books. And, well, Shelby's looking at me. Should I not pick this?
You bet. I don't know. Pick them. I hope it's not the one.
I'm pretty sure I know where you're going.
Shelby, give me a hint on what one of them looks like.
No, go ahead. It's fine. Go.
No, because Hunter already broke your heart. I don't want to do it twice.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
All right. I was going to say Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Shelby.
Hang on. Now I got to go pick a different.
I'm so sorry.
Because you are so into X-Men, I legit thought that it was going to be...
don't say anything else about X-Men. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
And I thought, but I don't know if that he's with somebody or...
No, I think Harley Quinn, not to get on a big tangent here about Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy.
You're adorable together.
Yeah, because on the one hand, like, if you're one of those crass, like, dog people, they're two hot girls being hot together. But if you look into it more, you've got the whole Joker thing where Joker was this awful, awful person for Harley Quinn and abused her and mentally abused her and traumatized her. So for her to find actual happiness with somebody else, that's a sweet storyline. And I hate how people always pick, Joker and Harley Quinn as like, this is the romance I want to have. Why?
It's horrible.
It's horrible.
I really wish that Birds of Prey had gotten a sequel because I feel like it would have introduced Poison Ivy.
The best version of it right now is the Harley Quinn TV show. Like they're really killing it with that pairing. Yeah. So
that show was so good.
It is. I hated it at first because I'm like, me, I like serious stuff. But once I stopped being a dick and I started I'm like, this is very funny. It was the scene where Joker confronts Batman over not getting his electric car that really won me over and got me on the side. So.
I put down payment on an electric car.
I want my goddamn electric car, Bruce.
Goddamn car, Bruce.
The fact that Joker figures out who Batman is, and the first thing he worries about is his electric car. Oh,
put a lot of money on.
Well, no. First, he got upset because he knew who he was. He got upset because
but he wanted that electric car. All right, Steven.
But then he wanted that electric.
I wanted to know that I would have done that myself.
My goddamn electric car. All right, Steven.
So, I don't know if Lindsay might have had this. I don't know. I went with Rintaro Okabe and Kirisu Makise from the Steins Gate series.
No, I knew you were gonna. I know which anime you're picking from, Steven. I stayed away from them.
Okay, and I think I know which ones you were gonna go for. So.
You don't.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, Steven, I can't.
You might as well just call him a bitch. Like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
Shut up.
Steven, I can't
No,
possibly.
I figured Steins Gate was going to be one that you were picking, so.
I can't possibly predict which one Steven's going to pick, or Lindsay's going to pick Steven.
And you.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's. Josh is starting to kick in. Let's go to Jesse.
Okay. For my next one, I'm going to do Jake Peralta and Amy Santiago from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That's a cute one.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take that one. That was on my what do you call it, short list, but yeah. That's fair. That's a good one.
That's just another very good one.
They got tighten ups, man. Those nubs are tight.
That's right. They had the engagement episode where they actually Jake actually proposes to Amy is like one of the sweetest moments in all of like TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Agreed. All
I
right.
feel like we're glossing over the best couple from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Capped
I
Andre
actually had
Bauer
that on
and
short list in case somebody took Amy and Jake.
Let's say Andre Bauer and Michael Cera or whatever his name is, Andy Samberg.
Michael Cera.
All right.
I wish it had been that because that would have been great.
Let's go
that's
to
for the same reason that I left Andy and April. I had Andy and April on my list, but I'm not going to mention them now because we got a good Parks and Rec one.
I've only got one extra, so I'm hoping no one takes any of mine. It really struggled to find like people that I could put on here for some reason. I don't watch a lot of. Let's go to Shelby.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Shigo and Draken from Kim Possible.
Were they
Nice.
together?
Yeah, at the very end they do get together.
Yep.
I didn't know that. I always thought that was another one of those things where I kind of thought Shiko and Kim would get together for some reason. Maybe it was all the art I didn't look up.
There's a lot of fanfiction about that.
Yeah.
Shannon.
Ooh,
Yeah, no.
what? I'm sorry.
What did you say?
Not his fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm not the reason they didn't get together.
Internet gonna internet, man. I don't know what you want here.
It's
I mean,
Ron's fault.
if they would have screamed louder, it would have happened.
You remember when they made that horrible live action Kim Possible?
Oh God, no,
I never
no,
watched it.
no.
Don't ever watch that.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to Tanner. Tanner, what do you got?
I'm gonna go with the obvious one for me. Scratch that. Harry Potter and Ginny Weasley. They're the fucking power couple, man.
I was really
I
hoping
decide
you were-
which one was worse if you were going to say Ron and Jenny because they're related, or Ron and Harry, which I feel like there's also some
Everybody
stuff on the
always
internet
picks
about
Ron and
for
Hermione.
sure.
I always
Yeah,
held
in my
that.
head, everybody always picks Ron and Hermione, and they're a terrible couple.
I
Oh,
agree.
sorry. Harry and Ginny Weasley were better?
No, and you can ask Jesse. We
Yes.
had this conversation earlier. I hate all of the final pairings. They're all terrible.
But admittedly, I'm
no.
sorry, man. He's
Harry
got you
and
on this
Ginny
one.
are
They
perfect.
are a better couple than Ron and Hermione.
Well, it should have been Harry and Hermione, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not the only
Yeah.
one, right? Or Harry and Luna?
Yeah, no, it should have
I
been.
think that was the
That would've worked
original
well.
intent.
Yeah. That just
It
always
was
seemed
in
like
the
a
first
weird
book. That
pairing to
was
me.
their intent.
But I need you guys to understand, I have never watched or read any Harry Potter. So I am the worst person to judge
That's
about
what I've
this.
got to make you do on extras and epilogues.
Watch Harry Potter?
Oh, you just made a grave mistake,
Just
my
gonna
friend.
spark notes.
I'm gonna Tokyo Gore Police the fuck out of you with Harry Potter. this
No, you
summer.
won't, because Harry Potter's a good film. So
Damn.
you can't trick me. All right.
Son of a bitch, he got me on a technicality.
All right. Let's go to Double H.
Okay. Shit, I don't know. I've got a lot more on here that I thought would have been taken by now. I'm gonna try to jump around. So I did a movie one, right? Let's do a TV one. And I'm again going to pick one of those that I feel like is probably going to be on somebody's list, but it's another very important one to me. Chidi and Eleanor from The Good Place.
That's a good one.
That's a good one to consider. I didn't put it on there,
Good
but
place, yeah.
I would have picked the other couple.
I'll be the first one to say that of all the TV ones I have in front of me, it's not I've never rewatched The Good Place. We watched it all the way through one time. I thought it was great. I don't feel like it's a show I want to rewatch. I enjoyed it, but it's not my favorite thing ever. But their specific story hits me in a very particular place. And there's other examples of this, but this was the first one that came to mind. It's that love of, I don't care where you are, when you are, where we are in space and time, I'll find you. I'll get back to you somehow. That's the kind of thing that'll make me fucking emotional if I talk about it for too long.
Yeah.
So
It's a
that's
damn
what
good
specifically
show.
drew me to them. Yeah.
I never finished it.
Yeah.
Because
should.
Is good.
I watched it originally with a certain somebody, and it was always kind of our show. So I never went back to finish it after the breakup.
Yeah.
Same thing with It's Always Sunny. I haven't watched It's Always Sunny since the breakup.
No shit.
Yeah, I need to catch up on so many things. But now
Seasons.
I don't really
Watch it
watch.
this summer.
I don't really watch TV at all nowadays. Like I watch YouTube videos at night. But let's go to I think it's Lindsay's turn. Lindsay, you're up.
Oh, we're back to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I am going to go with one of my favorite Disney couples, which is Rapunzel and Eugene.
That's a good one.
Because they're adorable.
That final song of theirs. Ooh. Was it Now I See the Light? Is that one?
Yes.
It gets me.
Flynn. I saw that movie one time and I was like, who the fuck is Eugene? I forgot that happens. I'm sitting here like, who, what? Oh, yeah.
Did you watch a different Rapunzel than I watched?
I remember the bit now, but I think we watched that movie when it came out.
I mean, Shannon's horse is already acting like Maximus, so.
True, but his name's Ren because it's the first thing I could think of. I think everyone, I think most people would agree with me on this. I thought Tangled was better than Frozen.
Yes.
Frozen was a good movie. It had that one really good song and it had a fun cast, but Tangled I thought was just better in every way. And Mandy Moore as Rapunzel was fantastic. So
good.
yeah, it's really good.
Still haven't seen Tangled.
Oh my god! But this dude watched. I forget what I used to make fun of you for now because I might be a little tipsy.
No, it's the fact he hasn't watched the Joker yet.
Or the Batman. He did watch the Batman. I apologize.
He watched the Batman.
I apologize. All right, my next pick. Speaking of comic books, going back to the world of comic books, I have no justification for this pick other than they are two hot motherfuckers. And when you get people this hot together, I don't care how good or bad the relationship is, everybody looks. And of course, I'm talking about Cyclops and Emma Frost. You talk about the hottest pairing in the history of comics.
I haven't read it from X-Men, and I did not think of that was one you were going to go with.
I haven't read it, but I am aware of it. Shanny, you know who Emma Frost is dating now, right? Or has been recently?
No, I haven't kept up with it. Who is it?
Tony Stark.
What?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's a hot couple, too.
That has been a thing, is Iron Man and Emma Frost, yeah.
That was briefly a thing while they were trying to it was during the Fall of X stuff.
Well, to be fair,
whenever,
Cyclops
helping the X-Men.
Cyclops and Jean Grey is a better coupling. I mean, that's the one you want because that's the one that the long lost loves.
Someone like me who hates Jean Grey.
Only because
Wolverine exists. So
hey, bub. Hey, bub.
Hey, you enjoy
for the person who's been out of. For the person who's been out of Marvel since the end of the last Secret Wars, is Scott back to normal now, or is he not still Phoenix?
You have so much.
That's been long done.
Couldn't tell you.
Because Jesse, correct me if I'm wrong. Let me throw something out here real quick. Because if I'm correct, didn't there was like another time version of the X-Men that came in, including like original Cyclops, but then someone died or maybe didn't, and then they also came back, but maybe not, and then I don't know. The X-Men storyline is so confusing.
So, what you're thinking of, they did bring back, to try to get Scott to be less of a dickhead. They brought back the young team
Blue and
to the current day.
Yeah,
that actually predates Secret Wars, though.
Blue and yellow.
Is that what the?
Blue and gold.
That was when they had the blue and gold.
Blue and gold.
That was the storyline where we were just talking about it a second ago. Where Bobby, they find out Bobby is gay.
Look,
that's where that all came about.
That's right. Yeah, because young and old Bobby were hanging out together.
That's all fascinating, but it doesn't change the fact that Scott Summers, a very tall, muscular, handsome boy, and Emma Frost, basically a supermodel, hooking up was the hottest pairing in comic history.
So, as of right now, I think that Cyclops is still dead.
God damn it.
He might not be.
Boo.
Wait a minute. Wasn't Nightwing with Starfire for a while?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
a long time.
So you're really
Right.
pushing this like super hot thing, and I'm like, oh.
Oh, no, Starfire. No,
Get the
Starfire.
rock
versus
He's got you
DC.
there, dog.
Starfire ain't human. And what do we do to them, Steven?
We liberate
We
them with
liberate
our
them.
managed
You
democracy.
heard when Steven came in here, those damn alien bastards
Yeah.
are real.
No. I'm sorry. If I have to watch two people have sex, it's going to be Cyclops and Emma Frost. It's not going to be Starfire and Nightwing. Nightwing's just looking over to the...
The xenophobia extends even to your relationship.
I'd rather see a man take charge like Cyclops would, not Nightwing looking over the left going, is this good, Bruce? Can I do this?
Oh my god.
That's not okay.
You tell
feel like
me,
he's trying to start a fight
Cyclops
now.
never had a wet dream about Professor X? Come on, man.
About killing
Come
him.
on, man.
Probably killing him. All right, let's go. Let's go to Steven. Pick number 3. I got to get
Show
off
got
this
weird
Josh.
in a minute.
It did. I blame Josh.
I'm gonna go with another video game couple. It's the Garrus and Tally couple. Whenever I played through Mass Effect, I always went with Liara for some reason. Back whenever I played the shit out of Mass Effect, and I always enjoyed Garrus and Tally in the third game. But it was a very cute pairing. It was the first time, like, outside of just your player character that they had, like, relationships develop. So that was also really cool to see.
Was Tally the one that was in the mask the whole time, and then when they finally unmasked her, it was just a stock photo when everybody got pissed?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That brings back
They
memories.
fixed that.
They fixed
But
it.
yes, in the moment, it was very bad.
It was just weird. It was just a weird decision.
She was basically just straight up, like, looked human, I think. They may have changed, like, the skin tone.
It was literally a stock photo, with she was blue, and
Yeah.
a couple little dots to like her forehead.
Or purple, something dumb like that.
Oh, see. Okay.
I'm colorblind, Steven. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's go to Jesse.
All right. I'm gonna stick with my TV shows ones here. And I'm gonna go with Red and Kitty Foreman from That 70s Show.
Dumbass.
Yeah, dumbass.
I almost, as a joke, put Peggy Bundy and Al Bundy. I'm like, no, I can't.
No, Peg. No, Peg.
I just love Red and Kitty. Like they seem like wonderful parents, wonderful people to have raised you, that kind of stuff. It's very wholesome, hilarious. They clearly love each other a whole lot. It's good stuff.
As long as you don't look into Red's backstory and when he used to be a major drug dealer in Detroit.
God fucking damn it. There it is.
He's not Tim Allen. Wait a minute.
No, I'm talking RoboCop. The first RoboCop, he's the bad guy. Yeah, sorry.
I was thinking about the actor. I was like, I don't think he did that. I mean, he's kind of an asshole, but I don't think that's it.
All right, Shelby.
I think that's just his character.
That's just his
I'm
character.
kind of shocked I picked up on that joke and he didn't.
Who, Hunter? Or I mean, Hunter? Hunter?
I'm looking at memes. Don't worry about
There's
it.
2 Hunters.
Okay.
All right.
It's true.
Go ahead, Shelby.
Beast Boy and Raven from Teen Titans.
Oh,
I
yeah.
actually like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
They
pretty
just
good
really
one.
balance
Yeah.
each other out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like almost like the whole, like, if a dog and a cat. Well, no, Raven. Sorry.
What the fuck are you talking about?
What?
No. So
Even if
I
a
was
bird
thinking of
and then
Andy
any other
and
possible animal.
April Luggage.
Shannon is drinking Josh, and Steven appears to actually be Josh. I think that's...
Get that out of your mouth.
I'm Lenny.
This is... Hang on. The more jokes we make about Steven being in Shannon's mouth, is the more reasons why Shannon's not with a particular person anymore.
God damn it. That's a deep cut. Oh.
Just banger after banger
Happy
after banger,
Valentine's
man.
Day. I agree. Beast Boy and Raven. That is a good pick. I like that one a lot. I was really sad that so I said this to Hunter the other day, and I mean this. I'm dead serious. I really do think that Zack Snyder's Justice League is my favorite superhero movie of all time. I really do. I really love that movie. But one thing that made me sad about that film is Cyborg is in it, but none of the other Titans. And I really wanted to see, like Beast Boy and Raven and Nightwing and stuff like that. Although they very much make it clear that someone killed Nightwing.
They've rewritten a lot of that stuff where Cyborg was never in the Teen Titans. He just starts out in the Justice League.
Oh, see, I don't like that because I'm so familiar with the old
Teen Titans. Yeah, at some point in time, they started writing out Martian Manhunter as one of the founding 7 and put him in there instead.
In the Titans?
No, in the League.
In the League.
Fuck Batman.
They replaced Martian Manhunter with goddamn.
Mashing Manhunter.
Mashing Manhunter. Hunter, do you remember last night when we fought we fought regular Manhunter? He was a verb.
And then Mashing Manhunter.
All right, Tanner, you're up next.
All right, I'm going to go. Here's the low-hanging fruit besides Harry Potter. I'm going with Tommy and Kimberly from Power Rangers.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because they were a way better couple.
Man.
This is where I get to do it to you. They were a couple?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
no.
also didn't know they were.
In fact, I think that was the only couple from the series, wasn't it? Or am I crazy?
Well, once she left, he hooked up with Kat. But...
What a prick. What a fucking prick.
No. Oh, God, no. No. So, Tommy and Kimberly were the first couple, and then when Kimberly left, they brought Kat in, and they ended up dating. And canonically, they get married and have a kid. But now, with the comics being so popular, they brought Amy Jo Johnson in to write a comic book series, where in that timeline, Kimberly and Tommy end up together, and they have a daughter named Olivia Hart.
That's the best. That's the best outcome because I always talk about Sandra Bullock being like my biggest crush as a kid and being in While You Were Sleeping. Yeah, but Amy Jo Johnson as Kimberly Hart was also up there. Those were my big crushes growing up. And also Felicity.
Yeah.
Carrie Russell.
I bet there's
the biggest
more.
crush button. Hang on, wait a minute.
Yeah? You got it? That's not a good crush button. That's not very loving. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go to Hunter.
Shit, really? Is it my turn? Okay.
Yeah.
What am I haven't done a video game yet, so let's throw in. I know Steven's done a few that have been like player choice ones. I'm going to throw in one that I think is it's out of your hands. It's written this way, but I think they're a great couple. Nathan and Elena Drake.
I was thinking of them.
Series.
Yep, they were.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're my next go-to for that. They're such a good couple. I mean, again, they're very realistic. Like they have problems, they work through them. The ending of that series, or that through the end of the fourth game, when you get to play as their daughter for the first time and kind of see like how she sees them through her eyes, is so fucking cool. I really love that series. I don't talk about it very much because it's very much you play them and you've played them and that's it. But I had a ton of fun with that series, and I love just kind of seeing them evolve as a couple.
What about the movie? Did you like the movie?
I have not seen the movie.
I haven't seen it either.
I know it's on like Netflix or something. It's super easy to watch now, but I haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, I forgot there was a movie.
Yeah, Spider Dude's in it.
Spider-Man and Wahlberg? Not Wahlberg.
Mm-hmm. Wahlberg.
Yeah, Wahlberg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's Scully.
Mark.
Just a weird choice. Very weird choice for Scully.
Say hi to your Uncharted for me.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Tom Holland, but he's also very weird for Nathan Drake.
He's too short. I'll say it. He's too short. He looks too kid-like.
Yeah, he doesn't look like the character. It's kind of a strange choice. Yeah. But I mean, he's super athletic and he's super good at acting stuff. So.
He's super man.
He does it very well.
Yeah.
He did very
well.
Sometimes
that matters more than like, oh, they look like the character.
That's my problem whenever I don't want to get on a tangent here. We're gonna go to Lindsay, but my problem every time you see people post that whole this is my fan casting of it, they always pick actors who resemble the character, not taking into account their acting ability or their range.
And both can be right, but the
Right.
acting and the range is far more important than they bear a physical resemblance to them.
Right.
That's not always
100%.
That's like everybody that kept fan casting Daniel Radcliffe to play Wolverine whenever Marvel takes over.
Well, hey, so the rumor mill is spinning up again.
I'm
because,
not opposed to that.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
apparently
I'm not
Patch is in the trailer for Wolverine and Deadpool.
And again, Wolverine is supposed to be short. Like I'm 5'6". I think Wolverine is listed as 5'6". So
Right.
like it would make more sense for
Hugh
him to
Jackman
be
was way
that,
too
like-
tall. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
they get fucking James Marsden to play Cyclops in the movies, and he's
Yeah.
like 5'1".
Yeah.
Cyclops is supposed to be a towering fucking muscular dude.
I think Marsden's like, well, I get the bit. He's not actually obviously 5'1", but he's also not that tall. I mean,
He's really not.
He's not that like exceptionally short either. I think he's like 5'9".
It should have been
This came
Henry
up. He was
Cavill.
in a show on. That would have been.
Everything should have been Henry Cavill.
He was on a show on
Yeah,
Netflix.
because
They
they-
mentioned. He's 5'10". He's just not 6 foot. So it's against
Yeah,
Hugh Jackman. He's gonna
Cyclops
look
is-
tiny.
Cyclops supposed to be like 6 foot something. And
Yeah.
Because they like he even gets called like Stretch a lot by
Right.
Wolverine. Like
Yeah.
that's one of his nicknames. Like he's supposed to be tall.
And
yet
so then when
Wolverine is supposed
you-
to be pretty short.
Yeah, when you match up Marsden, who's 5'10", which is again not that short, but against Jackman, who is 6'3",
Right.
Yeah.
and that's
the
with
fuck?
either of them wearing shoes. Like that's
Come on.
Yeah, that's
how
gonna make
tall?
it
How tall is Famke Janssen? Because she was Jean Grey in the films, and I think she
I
was
bet-
almost as tall as fucking
I
Wolverine.
bet she's 5'10",
tall.
5'11".
Yeah, she's
She's
6
6
feet
feet
tall.
straight up.
Yeah.
Jean Grey should not be
Yeah.
taller than Cyclops. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I think it's Lindsay's turn,
But-
right?
It's even
Oh,
less
what?
than I
Yeah.
thought. Wolverine is canonically 5'3".
Good
So-
I'm
lord.
taller than
And-
Wolverine.
Yeah, he's
And,
like Rey
Scott
Mysterio
Pilgrim
height.
Is canonically 6'3".
Good
Yeah, so he's
lord.
literally a foot taller than him.
Oh,
That's crazy.
Damn.
stupid casting. All right, Lindsay. It should have been
Well, I'm going to
DeVito.
throw out a surprise card. And I also picked a video game couple.
Oh.
Cyrus and Reese from Animal Crossing, the alpacas that customize your furniture.
Aww.
That's a sweet romance right there.
That is
That's nice.
adorable. They're
like
so
that.
cute.
Yeah,
That's a nice family moment.
I agree. We can all learn something. All right. Lindsay, got anything else to say about the alpacas?
No, I'm keeping mine short and sweet because you guys
Okay.
keep rambling and you didn't want to go on forever.
Hey,
so
hey,
Yeah, that's right.
We're on
That's
pick.
right.
We're on pick 4 out of 7 people, and we're only at 50 minutes. I'm proud of us. All right, this is really great for us. My next pick. Look, I know I'm gonna get some shit for this. I know it's not perfectly done in the movies, but the expanded universe really picks up on it, and I even liked the movie version. I thought it's a little cringy at times, but once I heard the love theme from episode 2, and the fact that I love Natalie Portman as an actress as a whole, and I think Hayden Christensen got a lot better and got a lot more respect over time. Padme Amidala and Anakin Skywalker.
I'm not going to give you shit
Okay.
for that because Clone Wars expanded on it and made it
Right.
better.
Right.
Yeah.
The worst thing about it, honestly, is the dialogue. I mean,
Yes.
it's not like they don't have chemistry. It's not
Right.
like like there's anything inherently wrong with the characters. It's just that George Lucas can't write dialogue, and yet he insisted on both writing dialogue and then coaching their acting, which he also can't do. It turns out.
And that's why I said, Hayden Christensen's gotten a lot more respect as Anakin Skywalker in the past couple years, which I'm really happy about.
Yeah.
And I always loved Anakin and Padme was always like my favorite Star Wars couple, and it still is. It's a tragic story. It's Padme meant like everything to him. That's the reason he did. That's the reason he fell to the dark side. Like he loved Padme that much, and it was a good lesson about you can have good intentions and do terrible things. And I just love both of them as characters. So yeah, Anakin and Padme.
Did you see the picture of Mark Hamill and Natalie Portman together where he's like, I finally met my mom?
I
My
did.
mom, yeah.
That was great. That was great.
Apparently they had never met up and they were at an event recently, and so he made a point to get a picture with her.
Oh, that's
Awesome.
funny.
All right, Steven, what do you got?
I finally went with a normal TV show, I guess. Kirk and Carla from Scrubs. I always enjoyed
that's good,
their
yeah.
like
That's a good one.
chemistry on the show, and I'm glad they have their ups and downs, and it was just really fun part of the show, and they're usually one of my favorite parts.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
When
I don't
Bob
think
was
you were old enough to have enjoyed Scrubs, Steven.
Huh?
I didn't think you were old enough to have enjoyed Scrubs.
I think it was still Scrubs was 2001 to 10, so I could sneak a episode or two before the parents got home.
I think that's an unfair statement, because the idea that you can only enjoy the things that were in your specific timeline, that's a mistake a lot of kids make, and then they miss out on stuff that was great before them. I like a lot of stuff that my parents liked.
Meant that I might have missed it.
Right, like it's one of those things that predates his interest in finding like those kinds of shows. Like it shocks me that he's seen it. Not that I'm not upset that he has. Like everybody needs to watch Scrubs. It's a phenomenal show.
Yeah. And importantly too, like when we were coming up, that wasn't as big a deal because reruns were rampant. But like, it blows my mind occasionally to realize that kids today don't really see reruns. Like, you're going to have to actively go seek a show out on a streaming service if you want to watch it. Yeah. And it's not that that doesn't happen, but they don't have the version of us going, well, this is what's on. This? I don't have to press a button to make it happen. I just go to that channel.
This is what's on right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I miss the days of being able to sit down, turn my TV to Comedy Central, and just watch reruns of Scrubs.
I miss the days of sitting at home, turning on Comedy Central at 2 a.m. and finding what happens when when Girls Gone Wild goes doggy style.
Tanner Cable is still a thing. If
you want it, go get it.
Jesse, could you hear the steel drums?
I can hear them.
Quick question for you. Does it have to be romantic couples? I might have to change my last.
It's just couples.
Just couples.
That's the last pick, man. It's all good. It's all good, brother.
This is the fourth round, right?
We're on round 4.
The next one's the last one. Yeah,
I think.
But he just made his 4th one. He's trying to decide on the 5th one.
Okay, yeah. You know what, Steven? The rules are very loose on this show, so do what you want. Right. Let's go to Just Kimball. Thursday Night Delight.
All right, I think I'm gonna do an anime. I'm gonna do Izumi and Sid Curtis from Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, yeah, they're cute.
They're adorable too.
Yeah, I like them a lot.
I like when she tells him she loves him and he goes, huh?
That does not happen.
That is not
them.
How dare
you? He can't. He's so gone.
He's out.
Too much.
Yeah. Too much Josh.
Close enough, you're going to hear. Like when Steven gets really excited.
All right, Shelby. I can't drink my Josh.
I'm going to pick Merlin and Toast from Bee and Puppy Cat.
All right, when I'm this tipsy, you can't say things like Merlin and Toast.
I sure can, and that's why I picked it.
Bee and Puppy Cat is a pretty fun show.
Lindsay, I thought you watched Bee and Puppy Cat.
It is on my list to at some point watch, but I have not gotten around to it.
You know who's...
So there's...
Oh, go ahead.
There's 2 versions of it, sorry. There's the YouTube version from Frederator, and then there's the Netflix version. I think the Frederator version is by far the superior one.
Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of like animation, storytelling, and just like what all they could put in there because they didn't have limitations. I'm sure Netflix is the reason that they had to change it. But if you go through and you watch it, it's the exact same story, but it's tweaked on Netflix. There's a little bit more and it's kind of spaced out. And they've like added episodes in between what's on the YouTube one.
So they put filler.
I think the YouTube version, Shelby, correct me if I'm wrong. Well, you probably don't know the actress's name, but Lindsay, Sailor Moon is in it. Terry Hawks is in Bee and Puppy Cat. I forget which version she's in. Yeah. She plays like a strong woman. I forget her name. Do you know, Shelby?
I did know.
Can you help me?
It's Toast.
That's Toast?
Pretty sure it's Toast. Yeah, hang on.
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up too. Terry Hawks, Bee.
Yeah, no, because I learned about Bee and Puppy Cat when I was in my Bravest Warriors phase.
Yeah, because it's very similar.
Yes.
Bee and Puppy Cat.
Well, because it's by the same animation studio.
No, Omelet is Terry Hawks.
Oh, okay. Yeah?
I got something I want you to try on the next show. Take a look at the text when you get the chance.
I don't want to.
No!
So the first thing I see is that fucking picture of Tanner.
Toast is Terry Hawks. Aaron Hansen is Omelet. The voice acting was all weird.
Oh my God, how many things have you sent, Hunter? I'm looking at him now.
What is
A lot. A lot. He's sending things in the text.
Oh my.
I don't like a lot of these.
The most recent thing is what I said I want Shannon to try on the next show. He's gotten into the Josh. Now let's see if he can handle his one night cough syrup.
One night cough syrup. Oh my God.
Look at what's in it.
Yeah.
Because you can't sneeze if you're dead.
Alcohol, indica, chloroform. Jesus Christ. All right.
Notice that it's skillfully combined with a number of other ingredients, which we will refuse to list on the label.
No.
Lounged about in a whorish manner. All right, let's go.
That's the one that got me. I love that one.
Horish man.
I believe you're up next, Tanner.
I'm going to finally go with one that you mentioned earlier. I'm going to go with one from Assassin's Creed.
There it is.
I'm going to go with Ezio and Christina. It's a character that you realize he was in love with while playing Brotherhood. They keep, running into each other all throughout his life until one point in time she dies and he has to carry her dead body, even though she's married to somebody else, but she still loved him. You later find out her last name is Vespucci. She is the little sister of Amerigo Vespucci.
Wait, so they don't actually hook up? They're just like
oh no, they hooked up. They hooked up many, many times.
There you go. Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
And then he bangs her dead body.
Their story.
Ew.
Why you gotta ruin it? Their story is romantic and sad, and it's all the feelings. And then
Tanner, I didn't ruin it. Josh did. All right, Double H.
All right.
Fair point. All right, I'm gonna pick one from a book, technically, although you could watch the series on Amazon Prime and get essentially the same story, though there are some key differences. I talked about how much I loved Daisy Jones and the Six around this time last year, and Billy and Camilla. So Billy is the lead singer of the Six, of the band. Camilla is his wife, who he meets early on in their run up to the top. Basically, they have a couple kids together. The story is very much centered around Billy's love interest in Daisy once they meet together, and this passion between the two of them. But the book does one key thing very different from the show, and it's been out long enough now. I don't care about spoilers. In that, at the end, after they have the big concert, and it's very clear that Billy and Daisy are eventually going to end up together if they don't, act on these sparks. It's Camilla who visits Daisy in her hotel room and basically finds her breaking down and says, "You and I have to have this conversation. He's never going to choose you. He has kids with me. He's been with me forever. He loves you in a way, but he loves me." And she's the one who kind of consoles her through this and says for everyone's good, including your own, you are the one who needs to go. You're the one who has to leave. And so she's the reason the band breaks up. But it's not like a Yoko, she jumps in and screws everything up. It's Camilla being realistic and saying, I know my husband has some kind of, attraction to you, but for your own good, because I like you as a person, and obviously for his, you guys have to split. She is, what a lot of people have since written as the epitome of the ride or die. She doesn't go in and just go hard on her and yell at her. She's being realistic. She's also the reason, at the end of the story, it's her daughter who has been producing the documentary. We find out that's kind of the big surprise about the whole thing. Camilla left behind something because she passed away from cancer, telling Billy, you need to go reunite with her. I'm not saying you need to go love her, but once I'm gone, you two have to at least talk about what happened. And so that's why they come back together at the end. So not Billy and Daisy. They're not a relationship, but Billy and Camilla is a very, very powerful story to me.
All right. You said Daisy Ridley?
No, Daisy Jones. Daisy Jones and the Six is the name of the show. Riley Keough plays her on the show, though.
Okay. I just misheard. All right, Lindsay, what do you got?
Next, I have Tamaki Suo and Haruhi Fuji. I've already forgotten her last goddamn name. Fujioka from Orin High School Host Club. It is the overly exuberant leader of the host club, and poor Haruhi who has to deal with all of their chaos. They are both clueless in their own ways, and the anime did not do it justice, but the manga gets to a better point at the end.
Well, that girl was obsessed with that host club. I can't even tell you.
It's a good show, and I will rewatch it over and over and over again.
Oh, I know you will.
I will reread it over and over again.
Hunter, that's not a threat. That's a spoiler.
That's a promise right there.
My last pick. I had a couple on here, and I've got two. Basically, I tried to pick between three, and I'm surprised no one took at least one of them. It's really hard to pick between the three, but I think I'm gonna have to go with an all-time classic, and that is Eric Draven and Shelley Webster. And now half of the crew is going, who is that? Hunter already knows.
I'm sorry, what?
That's the Crow.
It's the Crow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm all about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Eric,
all about it.
Oh, boy. You talk about, as a kid especially, just the idea that, he was so in love with this girl. Not just that he died and then came back from the grave to avenge her, because hers was even more messed up. I mean, they did terrible things to her, and then she died after hours of agonizing, surgery. It was horrible. And he came back from the dead to avenge her. I think what really sets it over the top for me is more of what actually happened, in the sense that Brandon Lee tragically died during the filming of the movie. And the ending scene where he is at her grave and she comes back and just kind of smiles at him. And then I'm tearing up thinking about it. They do the whole for Brandon thing at the end. It's just, that always stuck with me. That will forever stick with me. She quit acting after it happened because she was so traumatized by him dying. And the guy that killed him by accident, went on to do a lot of other good films. He was in the movie Tales from the Hood, which is one of my all-time favorite horror films. But he was also, obviously horribly, traumatized by the fact that he inadvertently killed Brandon Lee. This was a huge thing, and it just made the ending of the movie that much more tragic and a little bit sadder. So that romance always stuck with me, both for the characters and for what happened in real life that really kind of immortalized that whole movie. They're remaking it now. I don't know how I feel about it. I think Bill Skarsgård is in it, so it'll probably be good. But I mean, Brandon Lee as Eric Draven was lightning in a bottle. You can't recapture that. You just can't. Anyway, that's my last pick. I'll save my honorable mentions just to make sure I don't take them from anybody. But let's go to Steve for his last pick.
I haven't thought of anything else.
Don't talk about the Crow while you're drinking. God damn, I almost cried there. I had to slow down. I had to slow down talking because I was going to cry. God damn. Go ahead, Steven.
I think I'm going to stick with what I've settled on. I want to go with Liz Lemon and Jack Donahue from 30 Rock. I always loved their dynamic.
His name was Donahue.
Donahue. I couldn't remember if it was Donahue or Donahue. I'm sorry.
No, you're thinking of the guy who hosted the TV show in the 90s.
Phil Donahue. Yeah.
Oh.
They looked very similar.
They did not.
But
one of them is Alec Baldwin.
One of them isn't being tried for manslaughter.
But no, I always enjoyed that they were just friends, even though they very much did not see eye to eye on anything. They always had little fights, and they always respected each other. And I don't know, I just thought it was a fun relationship.
Yeah,
and
you could see it turning romantic. You could see.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't.
Right.
I'm glad that they actually just kept them as friends, because it was just fit better for them.
Boy, I didn't appreciate that show nearly as much as I wish I had when it was out. Hunter, do you remember there was another show out around the same time? And I can't remember the name of it, but it was the same premise. It was basically SNL. They were both spoofing SNL, but this was a serious drama. And I can't remember the name of it, but it came out around the same time as 30 Rock. And I wish I had watched 30 Rock more, because it's so good.
Wait. Was I could
I think
be way
Matthew
off base
Perry
'cause
was
I
in
never
it.
watched it. See, I'm not thinking it was Matthew Perry. I think it was Matt LeBlanc. Was it called Episodes?
No.
Was it the show that Matt LeBlanc did after? Okay.
Let me look it up real quick, because I'm pretty sure Matt Perry was in it. I might be wrong on that.
I remember Matt LeBlanc being in a show on like Showtime or HBO or something called Episodes, and I know he was an actor on it.
It was Matthew Perry. It only lasted one season. It did not do very well. It was called Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip. It was 2006 through 2007.
No, I don't think I've ever heard of this.
I don't know how good it was, but it was very similar to 30 Rock, but it was a drama, whereas 30 Rock was comedy. Really? And 30 Rock was amazing. Fucking Terry Morgan. What's his name? Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan.
Some of those movies he did, like Who Dat Ninja? That's one of my all-time favorite spoofs.
God, they were so good.
Who Dat Ninja? All right. Let's Jesse.
I can't think of the others.
You're laughing.
Well, one of them is Honky Grandma Be Tripping. I forgot about that. I wish I'd waited until Shannon was taking a drink. There would have been Josh all over that fucking room.
I'm sorry. You can't say the words Honky Grandma Be Tripping to me and me not.
Hey, you enjoying your shrimp?
All right, let's go to Jesse. Last pick.
I hate you.
Okay.
I hate myself.
I figured a lot more things would be gone.
Oh.
I guess for my last one, I'm going to go with Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Like in the main run,
Tiger.
You know, they obviously had their ups and downs there, but there have been like some really good like side stories that have done them really well. Like there's a series called Spider-Man Renew Your Vows that exists inside an MCU where they never had to break up, or a Marvel universe rather, where they never had to break up. And apparently in the new Ultimate Spider-Man, I haven't read it yet, but they're actually together. It's an older, more grizzled Peter Parker.
Oh, just like the movie.
Would you pick?
I'm going to go there and say that the better matchup, but the better parent for Peter Parker was actually Kitty Pryde.
I thought you were going to say Gwen Stacy. Like, no, he got her neck broke, man.
Oh, are you talking about in the Ultimate Universe, Tanner? Yeah.
I never heard about that one. When I think
they
of
were cute, but they were kids.
Like, when I think of comics, I always think of like certain relationships, Jean and Scott, and Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson. Like that was, and I don't want to say the last one because it's that was the couple. That was the it couple in comics for me. Were those two?
See, I thought Tanner was going to say Spider-Man and Black Cat, and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh no,
I could see that being controversial, but also an acceptable choice.
Very attractive.
That relationship kind of falls in the same aspect of Joker and Harley Quinn for me. It's not healthy.
Oh, Spider-Man abused her?
Well, it depends on who. Right. You're talking about. It's very healthy for her. Not great for him.
I don't think any.
She had kind of become like, they made it to where I think they realized that it was too much like Batman and Catwoman.
Yes.
So they had this whole shtick like back when like in the Superior Spider-Man, when Doc Ock was in Peter's body, they had this whole shtick where Peter Parker basically fucked over Black Cat. Obviously, it was Doc Ock that did it at the time, and caused Black Cat to go like hard super criminal. And with her, because she actually does have like luck powers. Yeah, it was a whole thing, made like a whole arc about her being like a super bad guy for Peter, and Peter not knowing what in the fuck was happening because he's now back in his own body and has no recollection of Doc Ock fucking her.
Whoa. That's not love.
Literally.
All right. Well, potty mouth, we're going to go over to Shelby for her last pick.
Since friendships count, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Beetlejuice and Lydia from the cartoon series.
Definitely from the cartoon series.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
from
that
the
has
movie.
Barrier. I was gonna say
His teenage bride, yeah.
they were almost legally bound.
They based the Beetlejuice movie on the Matt Gates story.
Oh, no. Well, the cartoon is so much better because it's just two best friends having a whole bunch of fun adventures, and there's
Loving
so
each
many
other.
puns.
Yeah.
Just so many puns everywhere, and it's just great.
I saw the cartoon of Beetlejuice before I saw the movie. So that was like,
Same.
that was my Beetlejuice. growing up. Yeah, so I agree with that. Beetlejuice and Lydia were always cool to me. That was a cool duo, and they loved each other, just not physically, because you can love someone without being physical with them. All right, now we're gonna go to Tanner.
I've been torn trying to say. I've been literally sitting here trying to decide which one I want to go with. I've got to go with the best relationship from The Office, and that is one Michael Scott and Holly.
I don't know enough about The Office to say you're wrong.
I mean, it's nice that Michael found somebody who's exactly as goofy as he is, but like,
there were
it
no
was
two
made
people
very
more
clear.
compatible for each other.
Oh, except for that whole part where they didn't have anything in common, and then they broke up.
Man,
that was being Maria.
Explain that. Because she didn't want kids. She didn't like any of the stuff he liked. She didn't believe in God, which was a huge thing for him. And then when she comes back, it's like all of that's not a problem anymore.
I'll handle this. Who played Holly?
Amy Ryan.
Never mind, Tanner. I was going to back you up, but I don't know who that is. I'm looking her up now.
I mean, like I get it makes you happy to see Michael Scott like actually end up with someone and being happy. But I definitely don't think that was the best relationship in that show.
Well, it's also
it was definitely better than Jim and Pam.
It's also subjective.
No, disagree.
It's subjective.
They kept Jim and Pam around together long enough that obviously they started showing a bad side of their relationship, but I think theirs was the better one overall.
I'm sorry. Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't even watch The Office much.
Was founded on bad.
Fuck. Never mind. It was Parks and Recreation. My bad.
What are you thinking?
I have never watched The Office, so I cannot weigh in.
Chris Pratt and Aubrey Plaza. I don't know their character names.
Andy and April. That's what I was about. Andy and April.
Yeah. Because that was always what I thought was the cutest couple, but I got my shows mixed up. But the shows were so fucking similar; it was hard to tell sometimes.
They're very similar. That is who I was referencing earlier when I was talking about Leslie and Ben.
Gotcha.
I mean, there's really not a healthy relationship on The Office. There are good moments among all of them, but it is.
No. Crap. Phyllis and Bob Vance. Vance Refrigeration.
That's not healthy either. They're both assholes to everyone around them.
I can't.
They make each other worse people. She's tolerable before she starts dating him, and then afterwards, she's the one who talks about everybody behind their back.
What about the bald guy? What about the bald guy in the chili?
That's a pretty good relationship. Except he dropped the chili.
Yeah, love is lost. Love is lost. Look, I don't know enough about this show to be in this conversation. Yeah, it's a sad scene.
This is why I don't. Yeah, this is why I don't want to mention The Office. That's why I left it off my list entirely, because there was just no part that I thought, all these are good. That's like originally I wrote down Aladdin and Jasmine, and I was like, yeah, their whole relationship was based on a lie, a series of them.
Okay, so I almost put Aladdin and Jasmine.
I was going to do something from Gem, but it's the same thing. It's all lies.
I almost did Aladdin and Jasmine based solely on the fact that A Whole New World is a great song. But you can't base relationships on one song. Yeah.
This is why I left off
Han and Leia.
They're not good together.
I thought you were going to say you can't base relationships on a lie, and I was going to agree.
Indy and Marion, I mean, he's only, 20 years older than her? That's not weird at all.
Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler.
Again.
Yeah.
About a 20-year age difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
All right. Well, I am curious, Hunter, who you got on your last pick then?
I narrowed it down to a bunch of them, and I don't think any of these are things that people would take, so I will kind of throw out a quick honorable mention. Tanner was trying to do the thing of the correct relationship from a sitcom, where he should have mentioned Joey and Rachel from Friends. Because Rachel didn't need to be with Ross. Joey was the only person who actually loved her properly, and they should have been great together. In fact, the only reason their relationship doesn't work out right is because Rachel's worried about what it's going to do to Ross, which is a huge fucking shame. Because Ross becomes a total caricature at the end of that show. Joey was willing to take care of her when she was pregnant. He was willing to marry her so the baby would have a father. And he was legitimately in love with her. And she finally admitted that she was in love with him too. It wasn't just his appearance. It was that she saw him for who he was. If there's one bold move I wish they'd made as that series went on, it's that they would have kept that relationship together.
What about Chandler and Monica?
Chandler and Monica are good, and there's a lot of good things about that relationship that they do for each other. Chandler goes from being I'll never really love anyone or want kids to being totally heartbroken when they find out that they can't conceive their own child together. But at the same time, once they get together, it's the Jim and Pam syndrome. They have these things where like he'll like look at a girl for too long or introduce himself awkwardly, and Monica will be like, "Hi," and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, and this is my wife here." Like it's too sitcom-y. Yeah.
What about?
I also Ross shouldn't get a second chance at the whole kid thing.
No.
He keeps leaving the first one on a bus.
Right. He also cheated. Okay, wait a minute. He didn't leave the baby on a bus. That was Joey and Chandler who did that by mistake, and it was
He left his baby with Joey and Chandler.
That's true. He didn't do anything. It's okay by degrees of separation. But so my actual choice, the one I'm actually going to ultimately make a decision to go with here, is going to be Rick and Evie from The Mummy. Rick O'Connell.
Yeah.
That's unexpected. Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah. For all of the relationships from around that time in those kinds of movies, those action movies, they're a lot less toxic. They also fill different like stereotypical roles from each other. He's now described as a himbo, basically, right? Like big dumb, do the thing, handsome looking guy, and she's the more rational but also capable of the two of them. They don't once they actually see eye to eye and start to respect each other as people. Like there's very much you see a lot more of it in the second movie. Like, they have a really healthy relationship.
I think that only worked when it was Rachel Weisz and not when it was Maria Bello. Whenever they changed to Maria Bello, that was
right.
That ruined
That's why the first two movies are the only ones that are really worth getting into. After that, it's not worth it.
I agree. And that was such a weird thing that they didn't bring her back. I'm not sure why they didn't bring her back, but that was just strange. I didn't like it.
I wonder if she turned it down. I feel like maybe
that's
she
turned it down.
Or maybe she was like filming something else and couldn't do it.
Well, that story was really weak. She might have read that and been like,
Dude, I've seen bits and pieces of the third one. I've never watched the full thing through because
you don't need to.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Lindsay,
have a rare opportunity here.
Last pick.
The last one, because I thought you were gonna do it, but then didn't. Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask.
Motherfucker, I was saving that for you. I was so scared of taking it from you.
I have so many romance things that I watched. Do you think I was gonna have a problem picking 5?
Well, I got one last sip of Josh left, so.
Well, hopefully it's just your glass and not the whole bottle.
It's the whole fucking bottle, Lindsay. I drank the whole bottle.
Damn it.
I'd like to make a 6th choice, and it's Shannon and Josh. Now this is a toxic relationship, but it does work on screen. Like you can see the evolution.
You can see the love.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Josh gives everything he has to Shannon.
Tuxedo Mask
and takes it in kind.
And Sailor Moon are the right choice. That is.
Yes.
That's will always be like my top level of romance. There, I was just saving it for you. So.
I mean, I appreciate it, but I figured you were gonna pick it. So.
That was on my. So that was actually what I was gonna pick instead of Anakin and Padme. But I was so scared of taking it from you, I left it on my honorable mentions. Because also I'll say what my other honorable mentions are. Boy, I'm starting to slur here. Casey Jones and April O'Neil, because especially in the first movie, they were very cute together. And I think Tanner's probably the only one that's going to appreciate this one. Pablo and Kelly from Ash vs. Evil Dead.
That is very good.
No, I love that.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait a minute, motherfucker.
Sorry. That was a really sweet one. I think partially because I love Dana Maxwell, and I don't remember the actor that played Pablo, but he was so good. What?
So goofy.
Dana De Lorenzo.
Thank you.
Kelly Maxwell. I mixed their names. I'm sorry. Yeah, they were so cute together, and like at first you were like, well, this is never going to happen. Look at him and look at her. But then by the end of it,
she's never going to go for it.
She's never going to go for it.
Oh, okay.
By the end, he turned into a complete badass, and she was like, oh, when she died. The spoiler alert: when she died in the show, I was so fucking torn apart. I'm like, oh God, no, don't kill Kelly. And they rectified it, thankfully. But yeah, they were a great couple. I loved them. Yeah. They were cool.
That entire show was good until the last episode.
That was so rushed. You could tell that was
the last 30 minutes of that episode.
Yeah.
I watched up into like the second to last episode. I never finished that series.
It's a really good series. It's a fucking fantastic fucking series. All right. Anybody else got any honorable mentions they want to mention before we get out of here?
I got one that no one brought up, and I'm fucking shocked.
What?
I got a couple.
Okay.
Marge and Homer.
I
That
actually
is a
left
good
that
one.
off because I thought
That's a good one.
Shannon was gonna take it.
I like
Yeah,
that
but
one.
Homer.
Homer's a
It's a
doofus.
good one, but well, the problem is the show has run for so long that
Yes.
you all too often see the problems with it.
Well,
so.
and also they retcon a lot of the things that made the sweet moments of their relationship
Yeah.
because they have to because it's gone on so long.
Yeah.
But I still agree with you, Tanner. I think Homer and Marge is a good one to go with. What anybody else?
I had a
yeah,
couple.
I also have a couple here. Go ahead, Shelby. You can.
Yeah,
do
Shelby.
first.
Shore Leave and the Alchemist from the Venture Brothers.
Yeah, I love short leave.
He's the best.
I'm surprised you didn't say Dr. Girlfriend and Guy.
The Monarch?
Yeah.
The Monarch.
Guy.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. They kind of have a toxic relationship too, though.
Yeah. They're not healthy.
Yeah, he definitely lies to her way too often.
Yeah, but she
It's
does
not-
too. Like she
Yeah.
sneaks around and double T. And
They
does
are
some weird shit with
villains.
Monstros. Yeah,
And I mean, he
so-
does love her. I mean, well, they love each other very much, so. I don't know.
And then my other one is going to be Danny Fenton and Sam Manson from Danny Phantom.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the record, the other one I forgot was going to be Jaina Proudmoore and Arthas Minithil, but there's just
I was surprised you didn't do them.
there's just not enough meat on the bones, honestly, for
Fair
me.
enough.
So my actual honorable mention, I just wanted to bring those two up because I was shocked. But my actual honorable mention is Amy and Alan Matthews from Boy Meets World.
I'll say the one that I'm shocked no one picked here at the end, assuming no one picks it.
Yeah, they're as close as you're going to get to a really good one from Boy Meets World because it is such a teen show. Like Corey and Topanga are the worst toxic relationship. Corey especially, he's a real piece of shit the longer that show goes on. I don't really love if you're talking about Alan and Amy exclusively from like the first couple seasons, 100%. The longer it goes, the more because Alan wasn't on the show very often, and Amy for that matter, they made Alan more of like the dumb dad. Like they leaned hard into the Homer stuff. Like he would make decisions that just didn't make sense, and it was just kind of yeah. But yeah, I mean, of the choices from that show, I'm a little surprised you didn't mention Sean and Angela, but they also run a little
gross.
bit of that.
Absolutely not.
Well, it's the other way around. Well, I don't know about gross. Let's calm down now. First of all, interracial couple on
Is it
TV.
'cause
They
she's
never
black?
acknowledged it, which was great.
That was that's the only good part about it.
Oh, so you're
Angela was
fetishizing
the
her.
problem.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Emotionally, she was the problem in that relationship later on because she's the one who just kind of followed Topanga's lead. Oh, you're not with Corey? Well, then I won't be with Sean. And it was like, that's kind
Ugh.
of dumb.
That's gross.
Yeah.
Anyone else before I drop the bombshell?
I had a couple oddballs.
David and Patrick from Schitt's Creek are a
God
great
damn it.
couple.
Sorry, that was my honorable mention.
You talk about it. I just had it written here.
No, it's. I mean, like, there's not much else to talk about. Like, yeah, David and Patrick Schitt's Creek. That's God
Dan
damn it,
Levy?
What is his name? Yeah, Dan
Dan
Levy.
I can't think of the actor's name who plays Patrick. but-
Yeah, I can't either. Like that whole relationship is adorable. He finds the one other gay person in that very small town.
Well, and importantly, he's not gay; he's bi. But he finds the one other person who actually matches with him because David spends a little time dating. What's her name? The girl that works the front desk at the motel for a little while, or not dating, but like they sleep together, and there's like very clearly, will they, won't they type stuff. And then eventually, they don't really acknowledge that it's like, oh, he's not into girls. He's into girls. He's just into Patrick more because he loves him, and she was a fling. So
yeah. Yeah, I don't remember them. Like, because I thought that like
they
was
sleep
kind of
together.
interested in him,
Oh,
but
they sleep
because
together.
he was very gay.
Well, he's very flamboyant.
Yeah.
He's very
Very
flamboyant.
gay.
Sarah rewatched the show here recently, and I was picking up bits and pieces here and there, but that was something that we talked about.
Lindsay. Oh, sorry. Hold on.
And then the other one I was
No,
going
I'm just glancing here.
Schmidt and CC from New Girl.
I never watched that show.
Yeah, same.
It's a solid show.
That was an ex-girlfriend show.
I'm a little surprised Tanner didn't mention Will and Elizabeth from Pirates of the Caribbean. That feels like a Tanner thing.
I liked that one. I liked that one. I thought that one was pretty good.
I was also.
I just don't. I'm not a
expecting Hunter
huge
to bring up
Pirates fan.
Fitzsimmons from Agents of Shield.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, that is a good one.
Lindsay, what do you got?
Fuck, I forgot about that.
So I had a couple oddball ones on the back burner, but Andrea and Matrix from Reboot, just that they rely on each other at all times. And then the cutest oddball pairing in Disney, Fix It, Feel It Jr. and Sergeant Calhoun.
Yes, it is.
I love that.
All right, so I'm gonna drop the bomb on you guys. The one that I can't believe no one picked. You ready for it? This is gonna be monumental. Set your watches, ladies and gentlemen. This was the one that's gonna change the world.
Is it Brian Leela?
Han Solo and Princess Leia.
I mentioned them.
We talked about that.
I said specifically them, and because I
No,
left here
no,
before out. I said,
no. Shut up. How drunk am I?
I did. I said Han and Leia, except the problem is that they don't really. I spent more time talking about Indy and Marion, but I said the problem with Han and Leia is that it's never really made clear why Leia likes Han. He's kind of a dick constantly to her, and it's really only until Return of the Jedi that you see like the best moment, honestly, between them is when they meet up when they're in the Ewok village, and she says something about Luke, and you see Harrison Ford does some incredible fucking facial acting.
Yeah,
when he goes through all the emotions, and then goes, "Look, when he gets back, I'll get out of your way, like I promise." She's like, "No, that's not it.
He's my brother."
And then he does the reversal of the like, oh.
Well, because he's thinking about that time they kiss.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's their best moment together, honestly.
Dude,
but everything after that is kind of like, why do they like each other?
I
know he likes her. Why does she like him?
I really hate the fact that I literally don't remember you saying that. Like, I really don't. I'm sorry.
I spent very little. It was like a one.
It was brief.
And then I went on to Indian Marion.
Well, now I feel like a dick for
an obvious problem.
I was kidding when I said those were the two were the ones. What I was just testing you. What I really meant to say was Raul and
Mario
Christine
and
Daae.
Oh.
And they're not a great couple, but I needed something to cover with.
No.
Tanner, go ahead.
Shannon asked how drunk he was, and
full liquor bar.
All right, that's gonna do it for us tonight. Josh got me leaning. All right, we'll be back tomorrow with an all new live horse time on Facebook.com/Podzilla1985. Until then, for the huge cast of Shannon Young, Jesse Kimball, Lindsey Wolfgong, Shelby Kimball, Double H, the man himself, Tanner Calvert, and Stephen Bright, thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow. Shelby, take us out.
No.
Hey, Jim.